Veterans Coming Home is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by Pride Stores.
As we continue with our Veterans Coming Home project here on WGBY, we are looking at various aspects of the situations our veterans face. Healthcare, one of those, and we're talking in particular now about PTSD, post-traumatic stress, and some of the ways it's treated both within the system and way guys and women who've been in combat treat themselves. Here with us to talk about that, we have Lee Paz. He's a transition patient advocate for the Veterans Administration who covers a whole big chunk of Western New England, Western Mass, state of Vermont. A lot of work, Lee.
Correct.
Good to have you with us. And also with us, Andy Belizzi. He's from Ware. He's a National Guardsman here in Massachusetts. He served with the Army Guard in Iraq, 2 tours. And we thank you for being with us, gentlemen. Lee, let me ask you, post-traumatic stress, I mean, it's a real thing. You know, a lot of times folks say somebody comes home without a physical injury, without a mark. They say, wow, great, congratulations. But a lot of times there's injuries, there's hurt you don't see right away.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that guys come back with that we haven't dealt with. Well, we don't even know what it is. So, you know, for myself, when I came back from Iraq, I wasn't aware. I was aware that I was depressed. I was aware that something was going on inside of me that I couldn't really explain. It wasn't until I came to the VA and was actually diagnosed with PTSD that I finally just started to realize what it was. And I think it hit me when someone actually gave me the symptoms and signs of PTSD. And it was like going down a checklist. I was like, yep, I have that. Yes, I have that. Yes, I have that. Wow. You know, this is what I have. This is what I've been dealing with. So it was, although I don't, you know, there's this stigma behind PTSD, it was just good to know that I had something. I wasn't making this all up, you know.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, let's talk about you. You did 2 tours in Iraq as recently as 2010, right. And it's tough. You see stuff and hear stuff and things happen. Talk a little about your experience here and what you came back with.
So, just my first tour, I was 20, turned 21 overseas, never drank until then. Came home, the first time drinking, so I more or less became an alcoholic. Realized that there were problems there, but just kind of dragged them away with booze. That was my choice. You know, so a lot of drinking, you know, lots of fights. Problems would just come up, wouldn't really face them, and alcohol would just trigger it. And then that just brought on more depression. So not only was I already depressed, but the booze just added to that, kind of just put me at like an all-time low. After my second tour, I was a 50 gunner on the top of the truck. So it was me, my buddy Maine, and Burris, and we were the front truck. So it was just us out there.
And you're exposed, right?
Exposed.
I mean, if somebody on the other side wants to get that convoy, they're going for you guys, right? First of all?
Right. You know, so there was the turret was shielded up, you know, but you're looking for things on the side of the road, you know, like, you know, you're looking at something, dogs, wires, you don't know what's going to blow up, you know, just stuff like that. You don't know when anything's going to happen. You know, but we were pretty great together. You know, it was the 3 of us we served on our first tour together. And my buddy Burris, he was the lead driver for the gun trucks on our first tour. So we ended up all being together our second tour. You know, so there was a lot of stress that kind of helped out, but once you come home and you're trying to deal with everything on your own, you know, just get back to the booze and then just problems keep going, you know.
And I know, Lee, one of the things I've heard several times from folks in VA, some of the folks who help vets and from vets themselves, if you've heard one veteran story, you've heard one veteran story. I mean, it's unique to every man or woman that's over there, but this pressure, one way or another, it's 24/7. I mean, we all have maybe our bad day, whatever that means, and in no way do I compare a stateside bad day to what, you know, somebody in combat's going through. But when bad day goes on for a year and a half, no let up, that's serious.
It is serious, because you don't know how to get yourself out of it. You know, you're not. You know, when you're in the military, it's easy to lean on your brothers and sisters to your left and to your right of you, and they know. Without you even having to say anything, they know you're having a bad day. And they become such brothers and sisters that they normally can get you out of it, or you feel like you have someone to talk to. But when you come back and you get out of the military and you're no longer with those people anymore, and you kind of have to fend for yourself, like Andy was saying, it's really hard to get yourself out of a bad day. And every day just kind of drags into the next day. And no matter what what you choose, whether it be alcohol or drugs, you may feel good for a couple minutes, maybe a couple hours, maybe even a couple days, but you're going to go right back into that hole that you were just came out of, you know.
And let me ask you about that. You come back, and you've described you come back twice, and the problem's serious and severe. And what point do you say to yourself, this is more than I got to deal with myself. I got to go to VA. And talk about that transition that you went through.
Well, I knew for a while that it was a problem, so I'd always try to find something to fix it, whether it was gambling, drinking, anything like that. But this last time, I've always wanted to be a firefighter. I was on the Spencer Fire Department for 4 to 5 years, and then I finally got on Fitchburg Fire full time. So once that job happened, I thought it was going to change everything, and it didn't. And then the booze just kept going and going. So the end of June, June 30th, I checked myself in to the Northampton VA. So it was my first visit at Northampton, or any VA. Went through the substance abuse program up there. It was 21 days, so I was there for about a month and a half, and then I did the 6-week Ward 8 PTSD program, which I got very lucky because my date wasn't until late December, but since I was already an inpatient, I got priority if somebody canceled, so I was able to get in right away. So
We've talked to folks who worked that program, but what worked for you there? What got you through?
a lot of the groups, when I was in the substance abuse program, just before I left, I lost a good friend to an overdose. He's got a wife, 2 beautiful kids, and that's actually helped me get through a lot of things. So most of all the time I spent up there was with him, talking to his family, his wife, his mom, and the encouragement for them to keep going, to do well, for my family, things like that. Scott Cornelius and John Christopher, they were the 2 social workers up there, and they were great. You had a problem, you could talk to them. You bring it up in groups. The interpersonal groups was me and 7 other guys. We'd sit there. Everybody would talk about their issues. You'd get a lot of feedback. So there were a lot of Vietnam vets with me who were my age when they got back. So them being able to talk to me about the ways they handled with stress. Unfortunately, they're just getting the help now, but that helped me a lot. And the groups, we do iRest, which is a way to it's kind of like a meditation. So you sit there and you're in the moment. You focus on your breathing instead of the thoughts in your head. Get yourself into a peaceful place. So
The thing I was thinking about preparing for this interview is, we take young men or women, we send them over to Iraq, Afghanistan, and you're there to do your duty. You got no particular argument with Iraq or Afghani people, but some of them, and you don't know who, some of them want to kill you. Right. So you got to be ready to kill them. That seriously gets into your head, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you don't know who to trust. You definitely, for me personally, I managed over 52 Iraqis that were employed on base, and I got to talking to some of the younger ones, some of the older ones, and I asked that question: what do you think about us being here? One gentleman said, I'm kind of conflicted about it. When Saddam Hussein was in power, yeah, we had to deal with some issues, but I could take my wife and my kids out to eat, and then I could drop the kids back off at home. I could take my wife out for a drink, and as he put it, we can go to the disco, or the club as we call it. He said, now I can't do that without militia, being in the streets, and perhaps my wife or kids might get killed, or myself might be killed. So, yeah, we didn't want Saddam Hussein in power, but now it's total chaos. So he doesn't really know how to feel about it, and with managing 52 Iraqis, I didn't know which ones I could actually trust. And I liked most of them. They were all nice people. But it was like, how do I know that if I didn't catch this person in a dark alley, what would they do to me, Mm-hmm. And that's tough to deal with.
Yeah. And Andrew, that expresses, I know your situation, particularly what you did there, was different. But again, that tells us the kind of pressure our men and women are under over there. And when you come back, why a lot of you do need to sit down, to talk, to have a Ward 8 sort of program.
Yeah, well, especially at a young age. I wish I did it earlier. I'm only 28 now, but it's been 7 years. My whole adult life has been dealing with this. It took over my 20s. I'm going to be 30 next year, and I really haven't lived my life. I've either been sitting on the couch drinking, depressed, or arguing with my wife. Who's been through so much. My mom and dad. But especially my wife, sitting there. We got married. I deployed. Came back, and then it's just been a battle. and she stuck through me with all this, and it just, being such a young kid, it took over my life, and I hope, Ward 8 has given me the tools to try to not get rid of the problems, but deal with them and work on everyday life, so.
And the future's looking bright right now.
I got some more programming left. Actually going to another program after this, and then hopefully back to Northampton to do Cherry Street. But the longer I'm in programs, the longer my sobriety is. And then I personally eventually would like to work with veterans. There's a peer support program up there. Being a veteran who's gone through it, and being able to work with other vets. Like what Lee does. Lee's done a lot for me. So to be able to return that favor to other veterans would be ideal.
Well, Andy Bellizzi, veteran of 2 tours in Iraq with the Army National Guard, and Lee Paz, transition patient advocate for Veterans Administration. Thank you both for sharing your stories, being with us.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks for having us.
Veterans Coming Home is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by Pride Stores. WGBY is proud to partner with the VA Central Western Massachusetts, Soldier On, and the Bilingual Veterans Outreach Centers of Massachusetts to support veterans in their successful transition to civilian life. Information at wgby.veteranscominghome.org.